No places. All right. So Wednesday night Hatha. Should all have a bolster and 2 square bricks. Affirmative. And we're going to actually start laying on our backs tonight because we're going to, the theme of the practice is going to be around side bends and creating space in the body. So I'm going to change this music, but while I do, just you guys just settle down, find your space, just as if you're going into Shavasana. Obviously we're not yet, but
You don't mind?
it's just good night everyone. We're just going to sleep for an hour. But just, make yourself really comfortable, take the feet away from each other, let the ankles just soften out. And just take an opportunity to arrive for your practice in this position. So feel the earth beneath you. Feel the breath, tune into it. Whatever's happened before you got here today is already in the past. And whatever excitement lays ahead of you is still going to be there. So let's try and just stay in the now, stay in the practice. And the breath is a great way to do that. So just invite you to breathe in and out through the nose as long as that is comfortable for you. You know, if it isn't, please do use the mouth. And just start to take the senses to the toes and all the way up to the crown of the head. Just take a physical check-in. Notice if there's parts of you that may still be a little tense or could be invited to relax that little bit more. Shoulders, ankles, face, hands, fingers, any parts of you where you may normally be that little bit more tense. Just invite it to soften and relax. And then once you've taken that physical check-in, just draw the focus inwards. Start to sense into your energy today. How are you feeling? Where are you at? And then begin to observe the quality of your breath here. Where is your breath presenting in your body? Can you feel it all the way down in your tummy? Or is it sitting up high in your chest? There's no right or wrong here, we're just observing Svadhyaya. What we do, we want to invite the breath to become deeper and slower, smoother. Just by bringing your attention to it, it will invite that to happen. But also maybe take your awareness all the way down to your abdomen, into your ribs, into your chest, and allow the breath to follow your awareness into those spaces. From here, I'm going to invite you to take a nyasa, which is a placement of your hands. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to, but I invite you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your abdomen. Make sure your elbows are still resting on the ground, so you're not hovering those arms above the air. It doesn't matter which hand you place where. Just tune into the contact of your hands with your body. Perhaps you feel the shape change with the breath beneath your palms and fingers. Maybe you feel it more in your chest than you do in your abdomen. Maybe you feel it more in your abdomen than you do your chest. Again, this is an observation, not a judgment. Just let the breath flow up and down the body naturally, smoothly. From here, I'm going to invite you to bring the soles of your feet together so that your knees come out to that side and you create a bit of a diamond shape with the legs. How closely you bring your feet to your body is completely up to you. Obviously, the closer you bring them, the more you're inviting and opening into those hips and adductors and groin into the inside of the legs. Hips on the outside of your legs. Feel the breath here. Notice if your hips feel tight, knees feel tight, any joints where you've taken this change in the leg position, they're speaking to you in any way, just listen. That noise
this is not a tiny barista in the room, it's just the aircon. And then I'm going to invite you to reach the arms up and overhead. Always make a choice as to whether this invitation is right for you, but if it is, perhaps knuckles to the ground, palms facing up, and arms just reaching overhead. Just elongating that body, that upper torso, from pubic bone all the way up to your collarbones, your crown of head. But in taking the arms up, just notice whether you've tensed into the shoulders, and if you have, invite them to soften back down to the ground. Keep returning to the breath if your mind wanders away. Breath is your anchor throughout your practice, helps us stay present. It also helps us tune into the parasympathetic nervous system where we rest, digest and heal, rather than that fight or flight reactionary nervous system space, your sympathetic. Be here for a little while longer. If you feel you need to move the arms, if you're not comfortable, please do. Otherwise, stay where you are. Just follow the breath. Think about creating space in your body, whatever that means to you and however that feels for you. Just invite some space. Okay, on your next inhale, let's take the arms out to the side if you haven't already moved them. Keep the palms up, and then just place the soles of the feet back onto the ground, and then just heel toe your feet out as wide as the mat. We're going to windscreen wiper the legs here. So your inhale space is with your knees up towards the sky. As you exhale, take both knees down to one side, doesn't matter which. Inhale, bring the knees back up, and then exhale, knees to the opposite side. Flow through this with your own breath rhythm. Inhaling, knees back up, exhaling, knees over. Some internal and external rotation into our hips here, just mobilizing into those joints. Also taking a slight twist into the waist and the lower back. Keeping the shoulders grounded, face soft. I'm going to take 2 more each side. Is it like there are a plague of blue bottles everywhere at the moment? Because I can't seem to be in a room without at least 2 of late. I have this obsession with bless you, setting them free and letting them be rather than trapped against the window. Okay, bring the knees towards the sky, just heel toe your feet back to a comfortable place. We're going to come to a seat, so you can either roll to one side and bring yourself up, or perhaps you rock along the spine, just up and down a couple of times, and then bring yourself to a comfortable seat when you're ready. Ta-da! Okay, so we've got the legs crossed here. Whatever leg you've put in front, swap it over and put the other one in front. Feels weird, means you put the other leg in front all the time and not this one, so we're going to keep swapping them about. So we're going to start our side bends from here. So let's think about grounding through the sit bones and really lengthening up through the torso. So try and make as much space between your vertebrae as you can, really elongating the back of the neck and lifting the head up towards the sky, and not to the detriment of that softness in your shoulders. So you're kind of pressing down with the sit bones, reaching up with the crown of the head and making as much space in the body as you can in between. We're going to place the left hand on the ground next to our left hip. We're going to just reach the right arm up first of all. So really extend up. See how much length you can create from that right hip up to your right fingertips. And then on an exhale, just start to lean over to that left side, so you're opening into the right, closing down the left. We're not necessarily looking for depth here, we're looking for length. So as much length you can create in that right side body as possible, not dumping loads of weight into this left shoulder, arm and wrist. Not twisting around with the body, keep the heart and the chest nice and open, collarbones broad and facing forwards. Okay, and your inhale, you're going to reach up, arms to the sky, swap it over, right hand comes down, and then over to the opposite side. So you're opening the left side now, And just softening into the shoulders, into the upper body. But keep reaching those fingers away. Make space between your ribs, your waist, your hip. Good stuff. Inhale, bring them back up. Let the hands come down to the ground. Swap your legs over again. Back to the normal side. We're going to place the hands behind us, fingertips facing in. Then we're going to imagine there's a hook on our rib cage and our sternum, and we're just lifting up heart space. Try not to have your arms in contact with the body if you can, and just really lift up through the front of your body. So I'm just going to turn it sideways. So pubic bone to collarbone, just really lift it up. Heart shines up towards the ceiling, nice and high, and there's nice space in the front of the body, but space from the arms and the torso.
So are we, so my noticed I slouched, so are we trying to stay up on our sit bones?
Yes, but you need space between your arms and your body, so if you keep it too tight, it's not going to give you as much room, but try, so yeah, I don't want to kind of like hang out like this. I want to try and lengthen through the front of my body. So making space in the front body basically, and a nice kind of extension into your spine. There's an option you can take here if you wish, and that is to lift your hips up as well, pressing down into the knees, and just lifting the hips up towards the sky in the same direction as your heart. You don't have to take this, it's up to you. Just explore it and how it feels. Another well-coordinated outfit there today.
Thank you very much.
It was you yesterday, Christina. Vicky today. The pressure is on.
Yeah.
Although Gosha's doing pretty well. Although you managed to coordinate very well with Alison, Christina, I have to say.
That's true.
Yeah, you got the memo. Alright, slowly bring it back down. Just release the body forwards and just shrug out through those shoulders. Just give them a little rotation. Forwards and back. Okay, so there's a pose called Twisted Deer in Yin, and we're going to do the legs, but we're not going to hang out in a nice Yin pose. So bear with me as I try to explain what we're doing with our legs. So we're going to take the legs out to the side. We're going to have the front leg, or your underneath leg, the leg that's connected to the mat. You're going to have the thigh parallel with the short ends of your mat, and your shin parallel with the long ends of your mat. And then the top leg, your thigh is parallel with that bottom leg shin, and your shin is parallel with the thigh of the other leg and the two ends of
It's a
your mat.
square in your
Sort
between
of.
your legs.
It makes me think of an Irish coin. I don't know why. But
Which one is it? Is it the, we have the leg out front?
pigeon.
Yes, that's our pigeon
Yeah,
leg.
little
That's
bit.
all right, sorry.
Doesn't matter. We're going to do opposite sides.
It's like a running cartoons.
Yeah. We're going to take a side bend in this. So we're going to twist in it first, and then we're going to take a side bend. Conformity. Oh look, now you've made Alison swap over as well. We're going to go one side to the other, so it's not a big deal. So notice you probably feel that your weight's sort of shifting over onto that underneath leg. Do your best to try and just redistribute your head over your heart over your pelvis. Easier said than done. Then we're going to, are we all facing the same way? I think we are. So the hand on the same side as your back leg, bring it to the front leg. And then your other hand, take it behind you and just twist around. Don't go too far, this can feel quite strong. You're just being sociable and facing each other. Yeah. It's a more community spirited direction choice. Yeah.
And I'm doubling.
Lift it up. See, awareness is good. You notice that straight away. Okay, just bring this top hand back. Just return the torso back to face the front leg, and then we're going to come into this side bend. So, front leg hand next to front leg. Back leg arm, reach it up towards the sky. As you exhale, lengthen over and away. You can lean into it, but just don't dump into it. So we still want to keep lifting the torso and lengthening out, rather than just kind of doing this. So we're still making that space, but you've obviously changed the plane of your legs. I hope you're all still breathing. Can't hear anyone breathing. I'm going to blame the aircon rather than you're all holding your breath.
And is it something dear, did you say?
Twisted deer and yin, yeah. Come back up. Then we're going to twist around the other way, guys. So you're going to start to turn towards your back leg. Place your front leg hand on your back leg and your back leg hand behind you, and then turn towards that back leg. Don't twist it too far. It can feel weird.
Chrissy does all the look at me now. She's just
No.
came back.
She's over.
I'm sorry.
She's over you now.
Don't
Alright, good stuff, guys. Let's return all the way back. Just pick up that back leg, bring it forwards. Just take both legs out in front, give them a little shake as a practically asana, counter pose before we go to the other side. Okay, remember which side you just did?
Yes.
And then flip it over. So underneath leg, shin parallel with long edge of mat, thigh parallel with short edges, top leg, thigh parallel with front leg, shin parallel with each end of the mat. Are we good?
How come I'm still the same around?
I know that we've got your backs a different way to us.
Yeah.
Right,
So we have to go that way, so we're going from there.
It's just a little test of the brain as well as the body.
Go, Susie.
Oh, come on. What did you do? I was doing what you were doing before. You know, you were facing us before. You faced me, so you need to face the wall. So I said,
Just face the wall, Vicky. I don't know.
Is this it?
Yeah.
No, have you?
Yeah.
No, I did that. I didn't know. I must have done a different way.
Go the same way as Gosha. Oh, there you go. No, you're good.
That's it. That's the way, isn't it?
All right, so
Right.
let's try and get ourselves nice and straight, head over heart, heart over pelvis, lengthening from crown of head down to the base. We're coming into that side bend first. So underneath leg, that side hand comes to the ground next to your underneath leg. Behind leg, that side arm reaches up towards the sky. Yes, Vicky, you are there. And then when you're ready, just slowly exhale. Take it over to the side. We've lost her, we've lost her. Keep reaching over. I should never teach this in an evening class, it's just too much.
Or we follow you behind.
For the brain, yeah. All right, let's inhale, come up. We're going to come into that twist. So let the left hand come down. So the back arm hand comes to the thigh of your front leg.
Yeah.
The front leg arm goes behind you, and you start to turn towards that thigh. And towards that leg. I've mixed it up, you're doing it the other way around. Then we're going to go the other way in a minute. Okay, so don't feel you have to over rotate here. Just turn in a way that feels right for your body. Okay, slowly bring it back to the center. Now we're going to take the twist the other way. So front arm hand comes to the back thigh, and then back arm hand comes just round behind you, give you some stability. You turn and rotate around.
That hand will be there, I think.
Left hand, right, left.
Imagine people trying to do this on the video, it's going to be hilarious. Good luck, video people.
Well, if we can't get it in here,
All right, rotate it back, guys. Bring the back leg forward and in. Just give them a little shake out. So when you do it in yin, you lay on the bolster, you take the legs like that, and then you twist and you come down. I think it's the shape of the legs that kind of, yeah, creates the deer. They like to name them after animals, so who are we to question that? All right, so we're going to come into Janu Shirshasana. So we have both legs extended out in front of us. Let's all do the same on this one. So bend into your right knee. Place the sole of your right foot on the inside of your left thigh. Nailed it. All right, I'm going to just turn to the side a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to side bend into this pose. So your left hand, just kind of let it hang out wherever it feels naturally comfortable for you on that left leg. Come up nice and tall, head over heart, heart over pelvis, reach your right arm up towards the sky. Let's create that length again. It's not just in the right side here, we want to lengthen in both sides, but you're going to get a bit more on the right because you're lifting the arm up. As you exhale, you just let that left hand slide down the leg and you open into that right side.
So I should my left leg be forward or out?
I've just taken it out so you can see.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do it forward. If you feel more comfortable taking it out to the side, take it out to the side. You want to create as much space in the side of your body as you can, So just explore what feels right for you. Try not to round over with the top shoulder and the chest. Try and broaden across the collarbones. If you find that having this arm overhead isn't helping you create space, bring it to your lower back or to your left thigh. Correcto. Okay, just breathe into the side of your body. We're going to release the right hand, place it next to the right thigh. I'm sorry, this is a very complicated class we're doing tonight. We're going to press down into this right knee and down into this left foot, and we're going to reach up and over with the left arm. There we go. Don't overthink it, Vicky, just move. That's it, reach the arms long, press down into that left foot, reach those left fingertips away. Nailing it, guys. Try not to dump down into the right arm and wrist.
Where do you put your weight instead? Because
You lift your upper body. So the more you can lift into the upper body, the less weight there is in that arm. Okay, let's swing it back down. Well done, that was good. We're going to do it on the other side. So bring both legs out in front. Sole of left foot, inside right thigh. So if you want to come to the side, if you felt that was more comfortable, gave you a bit more space, please do. Okay, so we come into the side bend first. So we're going to take the right hand and just let it casually kind of hang out somewhere on this right leg. Left arm is reaching up nice and tall. Let's make ourselves really long. And then with an exhale, we start to fold down towards this right leg. But that's not our goal. We don't want to just hang on the leg. We want to create space in the body. So reach the left fingertips up or bring them to your lower back, to your right thigh. Whatever you feel makes most space available for you in your body. Breathe into the left side of your ribs. Maybe feel the breath just creating space in the fascia and the tissues as you inhale and they expand. And then wherever your left hand is, let's place it down next to the left hip. So we're going to come up, guys. So you want to press down into that right foot, onto that left knee, lift your hips and sweep up with the right arm. There you go, that was like a dance troupe. It's amazing. All right, so lift the upper body, open into the right side. Pressing down into the foot, reaching with the fingers is going to create more space if you can get it. Keep breathing. Exhale, swing it down. Well done. Gymnastics over. Okay, we're going to come onto our hands and our knees. So just stack the elbows, shoulders and wrists, and stack the hips and the knees. We are going to take some toe stretching here, guys, so Karen's favourite. So just remember, you're not going to break your toes or anything unless you've got plates or pins or something else in your toes, which means this doesn't work for you. Obviously, then just be kind. So tuck the toes, try and get each pad of your toe connected to the mat. So you might need to just grab little toes and pop them on the mat if they're a bit sneaky. Have you got a cushion? Yes. Cushion might be more comfortable. Yeah, so if you want to pop anything on the back of your shins, you can. As we exhale, we're going to press the hips back towards the heels. This is where we start. So just start to shift the weight back into your heels, stretching out the underneath of your feet, that plantar fascia underneath the feet, stretching into the toe joints. And then where you go from here is on you. I'm going to invite you to walk the hands back towards your knees and start to stack head over heart, heart over pelvis, or your version of that. And my heels tend to go, so if yours are doing the same, just try and draw them back in. Okay, we're going to bring our hands to our heart space. We're going to inhale, reach them up. Exhale, bring them back. This is pure distraction. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, bring them back. 2 more, guys, then we're going to take a side bend in this pose. Yes, we can. Last one, up. Let's keep the arms up this time. Let's interlace the fingers, point your index fingers. And as you exhale, let's all lean over to the left side. Opening to the right, leaning over to the left. You're okay, your feet are okay. Breathe. Try not to kind of round and crumble forward. If you feel that's happening, just back it off a little bit from the bend. Inhale back up. To be fair, I haven't done this for ages and I'm feeling it. Over to the right side. Well done, guys. Good stuff. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, release the hands. Slowly place them down. Gently shift the weight forwards and then tap the tops of your feet down onto the mat. They're still attached to your feet. Hooray! Alright. You may want to break at the top of the mat. We're just going to come into a low lunge. In fact, just grab both of them and pop them at the top of the mat. So from here, we're going to just inhale, shift the weight back, and then with the exhale, let's bring our right leg forward to the top of the mat. So you can use your bricks here if you want to, because we want to create space, still keep nice and long in the torso. We want this back knee further back than our hip. And then I'm going to invite you to lift the torso up, if that feels okay to you. Place your hands onto your thigh. Notice we still want the right knee over the ankle and the left knee further back than the hip. So make any adjustments that you need to. If you need to pad your knee, if that feels a bit uncomfortable, please do. You can double up your mat. You all right, Vicky? Yeah. Alright, guess what we're going to do in this? A side bend. So reach the arms up. I've got cramp in my foot, so I'm just going to tuck those toes at the back. Interlace the fingers, point them up. So we're going to reach away from the front leg first. So over to the left hand side, leaning over, opening into the right side body. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. We're going to take this one more each side, guys. So if you feel wobbly, take the stomach a bit wider. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right. Well done. Come back to the center. Release your hands down. Bring that right knee back to meet your left. Stack hips, knees, elbows, wrists, shoulders. And then we're going to come into a cat position, just really round through the back. Draw pelvis towards chin, chin towards pelvis. Press the shoulder blades away from the heart and away from each other. Slowly inhale, soften. We're not going to round into a cow, we're just going to neutralize back. And then we're going to exhale, take it one more time. Press the spine back and up. Chin towards pelvis, pelvis towards chin. Make as much room in that back as you can. Well done. Release it back to neutral. We're going to take that sequence on the other side. So as you inhale, press hips back towards heels. Exhale, left foot comes forward in between your hands. Check your position here. So back knee on the right is further back than underneath your right hip. Left knee at the front is stacked over your left ankle. On an inhale, let's bring ourselves up. Place the hands on the front thigh. When you're ready, inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Interlace the fingers, point the index fingers. It's an exhale, leaning over to the left first. So open the right side. Breathe it here. Is that knee crack? Yes. Oh, I love a knee crack. Inhale, back up. Other side, guys, away from the front leg. Make notice whether your balance is different one side to the other. Usually it is. Inhale, back up. One more, over to the left. Inhale, back up. And then over to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, take those hands down either side of your front foot. Bring that left knee back to your right. Just one this time, just round through your cat position. Chin towards chest, spine reaching up to the sky. Alright, as you exhale, just return back to neutral. I'm just going to face you so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to take a bit of a hybrid into gate pose and then sort of a kneeling Virabhadrasana too. This is a head challenging practice today. So the first thing we're going to do is keep left knee under left hip, and we're going to take right leg out. Let's have a brick under our left hand. How high you have it is up to you, but let's just place it there to start. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Make yourself nice and long. I need to take a picture of you now because you do it like a dance troupe. And then inhale, sweep that right arm up alongside your right ear, lifting up through the torso and the upper body. breathe here. Okay, slowly exhale, bring that right hand back down. Place it on your right hip, then we're going to change this right leg. So we're going to turn the foot parallel to the long edges of the mat, bring the knee over the ankle, and take the arms out wide. So bend into that front knee.
So is it sort of like a tree, kneeling tree?
Yeah, it's like a Virabhadrasana too, but you're kneeling on the back leg. So arms are out wide. Then we're going to exhale, bring the right arm, forearm onto the right thigh, and then lean over with the left. Okay, well done. Inhale, bring it back up. Take the arms out wide. We're going to go back into that one more time. So right forearm to thigh, left arm overhead, open into the left side. Inhale, bring it back up. Bring the hand down. Bring both knees down. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So we're going to come into a variation of Ustrasana, which is camel pose. You can have your toes tucked, you can have your toes flat, whatever feels comfortable for you. You're going to place your palms into your back, unless you are somebody that finds it more comfortable to take your hands this way and point your fingers up towards the sky. Only you know the answer to that, so choose which one works best for you. We want to be broad across the collarbones, draw the shoulder blades together, draw the navel in towards the spine. We're not pushing the hips forward, we're lifting from the heart, like we did when we were in a cross-leg position earlier. So just lift up your heart towards the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Do with your head what feels right. Some people love to chuck it back. I'm not one of those, heads are heavy. But do what works for you. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart. Well done. Slowly just return back. Just kneel back down, sit on your heels for just a moment, just to neutralize your spine. And then we're going to come into a child's pose or a downward dog, whichever you prefer. This is just a counter pose. So if you downward dog, you're pressing up with the hips. If you want to go into a child's pose, connect the big toes, take the knees wide, lay the upper body down towards the ground. Choose whichever one feels more comfortable for you. Alright guys, on your exhale, if you're in your downward dog, let's bring our knees down. If you're in child's pose, come up to kneeling. And we're going to take that on the other side. So I'll face you again. Grip's going to be on your right side this time. Right knee stays underneath right hip. Left leg comes out to the side. Right hand grabs hold of your brick next to your right leg. Left arm sweeps up and over alongside the ear. Try not to dump the weight down into this right side. Lift tall and long into the upper body. Press down into that left foot. Reach away with those left fingertips. Stuff. Inhale, just bring both hands back down. This is where we change the left leg. So we turn the foot so it's parallel with the long edges of the mat, and we bend into that front knee, so knee is over ankle. So it's your kind of mini Virabhadrasana. Arms come out wide. Lengthen through the torso. Exhale, bend left forearm, place it on left thigh. Right arm comes overhead alongside your right ear. Try not to twist and round with the body, keep the chest, the heart open, create length from that right knee to those right fingertips. Inhale, sweep it up, take them wide. We're going to go back into that one more time. Exhale, forearm down, arm overhead. Well done. Inhale, bring it up, let the hands come down, bring the knees back together, coming into that Ustrasana variation again. If you want to take this any further, you can tuck the toes so the heels point up towards the sky. You start in the same way, hands into your lower back, lift up into your heart and into your chest. And if you feel it's available for you today and you want to take it, you can reach for your heels and lift your heart up towards the sky. There is no obligation to do this in any way whatsoever, and I'd rather you look after your lower back than feel like you have to reach your heels. The movement is still from your heart and not your lower back. If you've got your hands on your heels, bring them to your lower back first. Then we all come back to a neutral position. We just come back to kneeling momentarily to neutralize the spine. And then you press into a downward dog or a child's pose, whichever serves you best. Couple of breaths here. Right, so if you're in a downward dog, bring your knees down. If you're in child's pose, press yourself up to your knees. We want both bricks at the top. We're going to come into a variation on child's pose. So we want the bricks on their highest setting. Connect the big toes together. Take the knees as wide as feels comfortable for you. You're going to press your hips back towards the heels. So some of you have already been here. But then we're going to place our palms on top of these bricks. And we want the arms fully extended. So don't have the bricks close so that your elbows bend. We want to fully extend, but not overextend into those arms. You start to lower the body, but just to the point where your ears are in line with your triceps, and stay here. So draw your shoulder blades down to the sides of your ribs, almost like you're trying to wrap them around the front of your body. So draw them away from each other, press into the palms, lengthen through the body, and keep that neck parallel with the rest of your body, with your arms. Hips still pressing back towards heels. Find your breath. Realise that over time you need to eke those bricks forward a little bit, do so. Keep drawing shoulder blades out to the sides and down the back. Change the setting on your bricks just down so they're on the long edge, so they're half the height they were, but stay with it. So the head's going to come a little bit lower just to stay in line with those arms. We're not coming all the way down yet, unless of course you want to, it's your practice, do so if you wish. Keep drawing the shoulder blades apart and down the back. Create space here in that upper body. Two more breaths here, then we lose the bricks completely. Nice deep breaths. One more. Okay, then get rid of those bricks, just move them to the side or wherever works for you. Place the palms down, lengthen the body down. If you want to release out into your shoulders and take the hands back towards your heels, do so. Whatever feels right for you. We're going to take a side bend in child's pose in a moment, but just enjoy this counter pose to where you've just been. Feel the echo of the pose in the body. And then if you have got the arms behind you, just extend them back out in front. And we're going to walk both sets of hands over to the left-hand side. Keep your sit bones down towards your heels. If you want to stretch a little bit more into the right side, place your right palm on top of your left hand, interlace the fingers. Don't do this to the detriment of your hips being back towards your heels. So if you're really lifting off that right hip, then just take it back a little bit.
Does my head move with it?
Yeah, kind of has to because it's attached to your spine. All right, breathe into the right side, guys. Feel it from your armpit all the way down to your waist. Inhale, walk them back to center. Pause here for one breath. And then take it over to the right. Again, if you want to take the left hand on top of the right, you can, interlacing the fingers, but just choose what works best for you. Slowly walk the hands back to center. Take a breath here. And then walk your hands back underneath your shoulders, press up into the upper body, bring the knees closer together, just coming into a kneeling position momentarily. So I'm going to give you a variation on Varasana hero pose. Gosh, I know this is not one of your favourites, so maybe just try it with this variation and see if it's any better, but if it's not, please don't force yourself anywhere. So we're going to take our two bricks, we're going to stack them on top of each other, we're going to place the bolster on top of those at an angle. And then you're going to kneel in this position with your butt against the edge of the bolster. Now, depending on your range of movement, depending on your body, depending on how you feel today, you've got a couple of options here. Put it a bit more over your bricks, Karen, just so the bolster's more. We'll just knock them over. Okay, so you can stay sitting on your heels if that feels more comfortable for you. If you feel that you want to try a little bit more, you can come in between your heels and sit your butt down on the ground. You don't have to do this, guys, so just do what feels right for you. We're going to take the upper body and we're going to lay it against the bolster. So decide which version is going to work best for you. If you feel you don't need the bolster or the bricks, come back up, take them away, and fold yourself down to wherever you want. So you can ditch the props if you want, and you can come onto your elbows, or you can come all the way down to the ground. But these are all options. You just take what serves you best. Alright?
I don't know.
I am staying here.
Quite fun.
Yeah, I quite like it. But I know some people don't, so if you feel really comfortable, Christina, try bringing your knees slightly closer together. You don't get up. That's it, well done. Same for you, Vicky, you look very comfy, so maybe try and bring your knees a bit closer together.
What, so that I'm uncomfy?
I don't want you to be uncomfy, but it needs to be enough to keep your mind and body connected. If you're too comfy, you'll just wander away somewhere else, thinking about dinner or something.
You mean you haven't been?
No, you haven't, because you're excellent yogis. All right, you're going to stay here for about another minute, guys. You know that you can come out if you need to, or if you want to come back up a stage, come back up a stage. But see if you can find your peace in this pose, whatever that means for you. While I just get rid of this pinky block. That wasn't giving me peace. Right, a little bit longer. I've got really tight hips at the moment. I'm doing too much running.
I thought it's, not now, but you see this bit?
So it's,
That bit there, that can be tight.
yeah. That's usually for people that sit quite a lot. You don't really sit a lot.
No.
Yours is probably a hangover from injury of some description, I should imagine. Alright, slowly guys, start to bring yourself up. So use your hands, your elbows, whatever it is to give you some stability, lifting the upper body. Then slowly press up. And then just use the hands to lift the hips. And then just bring those legs away and back out in front of you. Give them a little jiggle back. If you want to take any other counter pose that feels natural to you, then do. I'm just offering this as an option. Okay, so we've got one last side bend before we come into our Shavasana, and that's when we lay on our backs and we just bend the body into like a banana shape, basically. So I will talk you through it. But set yourself back up as if you were coming into Shavasana. I'm teasing you with this twice now. Lay all the way down onto the ground. We're going to reach those arms up overhead. And try and just proprioceptively, so without looking, just feel like you're in the middle and you're pretty aligned, head, heart, pelvis, feet. And then from there, just move your upper body over to the left. So just shimmy your shoulders over to the left edge of your mat. Then step your left leg out to the left edge of the mat. And then bring your right leg towards it. Don't lift your right hip off the mat, so keep your butt cheeks on the ground. If you feel you've still got a bit more there, then you can cross the right ankle over the left. This isn't necessary, it's just to invite a little bit more lengthening if it's quite comfortable for you where you are. But we still want to keep that right hip and butt down towards the ground. Now with your hands, we want to keep the shoulders on the ground, elbows nice and relaxed. You can take your left hand around your right wrist and just gently start to elongate and lengthen a little bit more, maybe curve a little bit more, closing down the left and opening the right. But we're not yanking or forcing or lifting the right shoulder blade off the mat. So you create as much length in that right side as feels comfortable and right for you. So from right toes to right fingertips, make yourself as long as you can. And then while you're there, just feel your breath into the right side of your ribs, into your right waist, even up into your armpit. And then feel it in the left side. There's less space here, but we still want to breathe into it. Just keep alternating from noticing the breath in the right side to noticing the breath in the left side. Here for a little bit longer, so try not to wander away. And stay present. Alright, as you exhale, if you've got the hand around the wrist, release it. Just let the arms come to a natural place, whichever position you had with the arms. Take the right leg back to the center of the mat. Shift your upper body back to the center of the mat, and then shift your left leg back to meet your right. Notice if you've got one leg longer than the other, or you feel much longer on one side than the other. My right leg is currently longer than my left. Okay, so we're going to take that to the other side. So we want to shift the upper body over to the right side of the mat, keeping the hips and the legs where they are. Arms come overhead if they're not already. Right leg comes out to the right side of the mat, and then left leg is coming over to meet it, keeping the butt and the hip down on the ground. So how much bend you create in that right side is on you. Option with the arms is take right hand around left wrist and start to lengthen a little bit more into that left side, but not to the detriment of the left shoulder blade. Keep it soft and down on the ground. And then breathe from those left toes all the way up to your left fingertips. Feel the breath in the right side and the left side. Use the breath to create space. Stay present. If you wander, just with kindness bring yourself back. Notice if that lengthening eases the longer you're here. A little bit longer, just a few more breaths. Start to find your next exhale, release the arms, just let them go to wherever's comfortable. Shift the left leg off and out back into the middle, upper body back to center, right leg back to center. And there you go, you're in Shavasana for reals now. So if you want to take the legs wider, let the ankles flop out, let the arms flop out, put eye bags on, pillows, blankets, anything you want to make yourself completely comfortable. Please do. I'm just going to turn off that aircon. So just close down the eyes, tune in to the breath, to the body, to the space beneath you. Feel the support and the grounding of the earth below. Take a breath from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. And a breath from the tips of your toes all the way back up to the crown of your head. I'm going to take a rotating body scan tonight. So we're moving it around the body. It's not coming linear up and down. We're going to move it around. So you're going to start with your focus on your right foot, the sole of your right foot, and your toes, top of your foot, your heel, and invite your foot to relax and let go. going to take your awareness to your left knee, the ligaments, the tendons and the tissues here, the back of your left knee. And then across to your right hip. Softening your right hip down into the ground below, letting it be heavy and supported. And from your right hip to your left shoulder blade. Release the shoulder blade down. From your left shoulder blade across to your right knee. Soften into the back of the knee, behind the knee and across the front of the knee. And from your right knee to your left foot. The sole of your foot, the ball joints, the heel, the toes and the top of your left foot. And from your left foot up to your right shoulder, your right shoulder blade. Softness, relax. Right shoulder blade travels to left hip. Releasing the hip down to the ground. Softening. Left hip to right thigh. Release every tissue, tendon, fibre and cell in your right thigh. Let it be. And from right thigh we travel to the left arm. From the top of your left arm all the way down to your wrist, the crease of your elbow, forearm, the top of your arm. And from your left arm you're going to go to your left thigh, releasing into those big muscles and tissues. Relax that thigh, let it be heavy and supported by the ground below. Left thigh takes you to right side of chest and right ribs, right waist. Breathe into this side of your body. And then there you go across the lower back and the abdomen to the left waist, the left ribs and the left chest. Up the torso, just releasing down into the ground below. On the left side of your body, come across to your right shoulder, all the way down to your right wrist. Upper arm, crease of elbow, forearm. And then from your right arm to your left hand, the palm of your hand, your fingers, knuckles, the back of your hand. Left hand to right ear and right side of neck. Releasing into the side of your neck. And then travel across to your right hand, the palm of your hand, your fingers, thumb, knuckles. And from that right hand to the left side of your neck and your left ear, the back of your neck and the front of your throat. From your neck, travel back down to the soles of your feet, tips of your toes. And the tips of your toes travel to the tips of your fingers. And from the tips of your fingers, travel to the crown of your head. Softening across the top of your head, your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, the muscles around your mouth, the bridge of your nose to the tip of your nose, from temple to temple and ear to ear, right ear to left toes, left ear to right toes. Breathe, relax. I invite you to just begin to take some gentle movement into your fingers and your toes. Notice the space around you, the ground beneath you, Don't move from here, just lay where you are. I'm going to take a picture from the back of the room, guys, while you're in this position, so we won't see you. If you want to cover your face up with anything, feel free, we can't see your face. Just going to put this mat here so it does look like this person came. So you just take this time to start to breathe back into your body, return back into the room.